And speaking of wellness talks, we have Dr. Faye in the studio from Smooth Wellness Services. Good morning, man.
Good morning,
Good
AY.
morning. Glad to have you join us this morning.
Yeah, good to be here also.
All right. So, what do you have for our listeners this morning?
All right, so today we haven't run it up on stress. Stress is a very wide topic, so we're still going to continue on that. I'm really hoping that we'll be able to round up on that today, on stress today. So we've been able to introduce stress. That's 2 weeks ago. Then last week we talked about the daily things, the causes of stress, things that we go through every day that may give us stress, and to see how we can help ourselves so that it doesn't get to chronic stress. So today I'm going to talk on how we can prevent chronic stress, because I already said that there's nothing we can do about stress. We all are exposed to stressors. So, but how do we prevent chronic stress in our lives? Okay, so this is Holistic Health Talks, and I handle this every Thursday. Last week, you asked me a question that, okay, what is natural medicine? Yes, and then a friend of mine actually also talked about it. Like, it seems this is a topic, or rather, this is something a lot of people don't know. So I should really elaborate more on it. Okay, so I was able to tell you about what natural medicine is, just a snippet of it last week. That we don't use drugs, we don't use anything chemical, we go natural. And then to buttress on that also, for natural medicine practitioners, we also call ourselves naturopaths. We actually treat the human body as a whole. That's we consider the body, mind, and the spirit as a whole. And then we target the root cause of the symptom of any ailment or disease that you come with. So if you come and say, oh, I have a headache, instead of just giving you a pain reliever or so, we look, okay, what is the cause of this headache? So we target it from the root cause. So it's out of your system. So it's not as if we're just treating the symptom of it. All right. So that's more about us. I think some other time we will talk more. Then for today, prevention of chronic stress and the long-term effects of it. Number one, I would actually love to share with us that there's one thing about human beings that God has given us free, which is forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is something that can help you to prevent chronic stress. Like I have said before, we cannot say no to stress. But you cannot say no to anger. You cannot say no to bitterness. Every day we meet people who might irritate us and all of that. But it is your duty to see how you can actually get yourself from that rut. Because anger or resentment, I think the family name I will put it under resentment, is for resentment. When you get angry with somebody, yes, it's normal. Get angry and let it go. Because if you stay in that anger, it's just a matter of time. It builds up and then it starts to affect your organs, or maybe in the future. Sometimes it might be a child. That's why I talked about traumas last week. I talked about how parents should help children with traumas. Some children actually carry baggages of traumas. The anger is there because you're not able to fight that adult, but it's there. And then before you know it, when that child grows up, you come up with a whole lot of ailments or diseases. So please, let's talk about forgiveness. It's a free gift of God. You can cry. Anybody should cry. Cry, yes, it can be painful and all of that. But at the same time, you learn to let it go. When you let it go, you're easing yourself of a whole lot of stress. Because when you're angry or you're resentful, it's not that person that is going to get the brunt of it. It is you. I know it's not an easy thing. So that brings us to the next point, which is mindfulness. Now, as the yoga instructor, meditation is a wonderful thing. When you talk about this anger, I would always advise my people that, okay, fine, you know what? If it's not easy to let go of this hurt, why don't you have a quiet time about it? Just be mindful. Focus on just this anger, just this real reason why you're angry. Focus on it and leave every other thing in life. Focus on it. Be mindful about it. Meditate on it. And while you're meditating on it, you'll be surprised that a whole lot of things will come. Nature has a way of presenting to you, okay, this is the reason why you're angry, but do you know that you caused it? Or, you at that point, you're able to, a picture is being painted for you where you're even able to see where you have even faulted, honestly. And then you're able to like, oh, okay, fine. Probably I shouldn't have done this and that and that. And it makes you able to let go easily. Next, I would also advise us to befriend nature. Nature is, there for everybody. We talk about plants, we talk about fresh air. There are breathing exercises. Please take a lot of water, rehydrate always. Sunlight is awesome for us. Nowadays, a lot of us don't like to go into the sun. We're always in AC, you're always in a very well, sunlight is awesome, really awesome. And then please rest. You can never talk too much about resting. There's too much stress in the world, and a lot of people do not rest. So you cannot put insomnia on top of that again. So befriend nature and let it be a part of you. Next, I'm going to talk about trust in a higher force other than yourself. As I am a Christian, and here in Nigeria we're quite religious people, so I will always say, beyond what your clergy is saying, you have a personal relationship with your creator. Even if you don't believe in God, some people actually don't believe in God, but you know that you didn't just drop into this world. So you got into this world somehow. The air you breathe is from somewhere. We can't see it, but that is what actually sustains us. So just have a personal relationship with that creator of yours, and let that guide you. And it has a way of helping you to manage any form of stress you have, because sometimes you get so angry, and what can you do? And that's what happens when it's just like you're using an appliance and there's a malfunction. What do you go to? You go back to the manual's instructions and say, okay, what does the manual say we should do when you have this issue? That's the same thing about going back to your creator, like, okay, fine, at this moment, this is what's happening to me. What should I do? So that's why I always advise, have a relationship with your creator. Next, I'll talk about living a purposeful life. A whole lot of us are just living, we're actually not surviving. Discover who you are. When you discover who you are, you'll be able to, when a stressor comes, you're just like, oh, I will let this person pack well, like we always say, pack well. I have better things to do. I have bigger fishes to fry. So when you have a purpose, you pursue it, and you see yourself better. You train yourself, you get yourself better, and before you know it, a whole lot of things that should or might cause you stress before would actually not have what it takes to do so. And then I talk about also letting go of fixing background traumas and a whole lot of things. We talked about that yesterday. Then take time out to rest and rejuvenate. I've talked about that. Patience, and gratitude. Sometimes one thing might not be okay for you, but a whole lot of things are also being okay. So please be patient and be grateful for that which you have. And also, please let us be kind. There's nothing that kindness takes away from you. Instead, it brings more to you. Be kind, share love to everybody you meet around. And I have one last point here, which is quite funny, but it's actually not funny. Please do not get married. Please do not get married if you still have mental or psychological issues. Some parents want to ward off this troublesome child just because, I beg, go. No, nobody can actually correct or change a fully grown adult. Because you get married and you are not mentally okay, you go and actually disrupt the life of another person. And then you bring a child into the world. An unstable mom or unstable father can never bring up a good child. So please, with this little point, I hope I have been able to, help to express just some little ways which we can prevent chronic stress. Like I said, acute stress is every day, but the chronic one, don't stay in that rut. We don't want to get to chronic stress, because I talked about how it can disrupt our lives, disrupt your future, disrupt your health, and that's it. Till we meet again next week, I hope you were able to have a nice time with me today.
Yes, thank you.